Kentucky State Police will be out in full force during the New Year's Eve holiday. How they're planning to crack down on drunk driving ahead.
Downtown Lexington is ready to welcome 2016. We'll have a preview coming up.
A breach of voter data is affecting millions of Americans, exposing names, addresses, phone numbers, and birth dates. We have the latest in the investigation.
This is WKYT News at 4:30.
Good afternoon. Sam Dick and Amber Philpott reporting. State police will be out on this New Year's Eve to make sure that people celebrating the arrival of 2016 stay safe.
KSP tells us they will utilize every resource possible to crack down on drunk drivers. Garrett Weimer is live along I-75 in Lexington with more on the extra holiday enforcement. It's our top story at 4:30. Garrett?
7.5 hours now until we ring in the new year, and Kentucky State Police will be out in force tonight, making sure folks don't get behind the wheel after they've been drinking. It'll be a busy night for Kentucky State Police and other law enforcement agencies around the Commonwealth. Troopers say they'll step up patrols across the state, have checkpoints, and keep even more eyes on high-risk areas. Police say 12 people died across Kentucky on New Year's Eve last year. The goal this year is for everyone to get home safely.
Think before you drink. You know, you don't want to drink and drive. You don't want to do any kind of illegal drugs to drive, obviously. If you are going to go somewhere where you're going to be doing some drinking or partying or whatever, make sure you have a ride. You know, call a sober driver. Make sure you have, you know, arrangements made so that you can have a safe celebration tonight for the new year.
Have fun tonight, but police urge you to ring in the new year responsibly. You don't want to kick off 2016 with a DUI or something much worse. Live in Lexington, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Garrett, thank you. Statistics show more people have died on Kentucky roads this year than last year. Police say they hope to keep those numbers from going up tonight. Well, it is already 2016 in many parts of the world, and from restaurants to bars, you can bet business will be booming right here in Lexington as the clock counts down to midnight.
Our Michelle Chamberlain is downtown with more on how places are preparing for those big crowds.
Local businesses are preparing for a big night in Lexington, and there is no shortage of places to ring in the new year.
It's New Year's. You got to get out. You got to mix and mingle.
Along with several local restaurants offering special menus, there's also an R.J. Corman dinner train excursion. In the Distillery District, the Grand Reserve is hosting its first New Year's Eve masquerade ball, which includes 20,000 square feet of venue space, an open bar, and a nationally known DJ. Tickets are still available. You can also still purchase tickets next door at Manchester Hall for the 3rd annual New Year's Eve Downtown Bash, hosted by Lex Effect.
New Year's is New Year's, so you're competing with every bar and restaurant, every venue that is having a party, and then, you know, it's very easy for people to have an event at their house. It's free.
Owner Kaylin Query says Lexington businesses are thriving, and tonight's the perfect time to get out and support local.
We can't continue to thrive if people don't come out and support. So whether it's going to dinner or whether it's going and grabbing a couple drinks at a bar, there's lots of options no matter the price range that you're looking at. So find what's a good fit and make sure you come out.
Along with parties, there will also be plenty of officers out tonight as well. Kentucky State Police will have checkpoints throughout the state, and Lexington Police telling me that they will beef up patrols to keep an eye on people driving under the influence. They ask that you can have fun, but plan responsibly and do not drink and drive. In Lexington, Michelle Chamberlain, WKYT.
And coming up on WKYT News at 5, we'll have your guide on planning a safe New Year's Eve. We're closing out 2015 with colder air rolling into the Bluegrass State.
It is pretty chilly out there, so what should you expect if you are venturing out tonight? Let's check in now with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Yeah, pretty much more of the same, guys. Temperatures that will be dropping below the freezing mark here shortly, with a lot of clouds and a passing snowflake here or there. Take that, warm December. We're sending you out on a little bit of a cold and in some cases flaky note. Low 30s into most of central and northern Kentucky, a little farther to the south and southeast. As expected, we are a few degrees warmer. Throw the winds into the mix. We've got the wind chill cranking up for the first time in a while. How about Maysville down to 24 degrees? Feels like 26 in Lexington, Frankfort, and Danville. Those are the numbers to dress for if you're heading out to one of those parties coming up here very shortly. And also, snow. Defender Radar Network is picking up on a lot of clouds and the occasional snowflake here or there. Right at the stroke of midnight, as we say hello 2016, we will do so. Cloudy, cold skies, temperatures right around the 30-degree mark. When I come back in a few minutes, we'll show you how we've got another little cold shot that will follow this one up, guys, and that may be a flake maker into early next week.
All right, Chris, thank you. Bullets hit 2 Lexington homes in 2 separate shootings last night. The first was on Alumni Drive. There, 2 people called police after they said a bullet came into their apartment. While police were there, more gunshots were heard, this time on Mount Tabor Road. A home was also hit there. No one was injured in either case. There has been a massive breach of voter information affecting nearly everyone registered to vote in the United States.
And this comes just as we're about to enter a general election year when voters will head to the polls. Mark Albert has more.
Just over 4 weeks away from Iowa's first in the nation caucuses, security researchers have discovered a massive data file containing personal information on 191 million voters left unsecured online. The database includes voters' names, addresses, phone numbers, birth dates, political affiliations, and voting history since the year 2000, according to CSO Online, which discovered the breach.
I think it's a big impact for voters across the country.
David Gordon is a New York-based director at Light Cyber, a data security firm. If I'm a registered voter, am I at risk?
Yes, you are at risk in terms of disclosing information. I don't think proper security protocols are in place, and I think really everybody has a role in it.
Voter information is public, but many states restrict how the information can be used and by whom. So, David, what should voters do now?
Really, the only recourse voters would have is to lobby their representatives to secure the network in a way that's proper.
The U.S. Federal Elections Commission tells CBS News it does not have the access or authority to protect voter records. That's left to the states. California has already launched an investigation. Mark Albert, CBS News, Washington.
And it's not clear who built the database, but typically voter information must be obtained from each state. And that's why the existence of a publicly available central database could be so appealing to thieves. The New York Times reports that as of last night, the database was no longer accessible online.
Up to 1 million revelers are expected to ring in the new year in New York City's Times Square tonight.
It will be crowded. They'll be joined by nearly 6,000 uniformed and undercover police officers. The head of the city's counterterrorism unit says New York City will be the safest place in the world to be on New Year's Eve. Now, millions will be raising a glass tonight to bring in the new year, and for some, that glass will be filled with orange wine.
Yeah, this new drink is actually very old. Karina Mitchell explains.
At this New York City wine bar, customers aren't just ordering red or white, but orange.
It's different.
Orange wine, which looks almost amber, gets its color by leaving crushed white grapes in contact with their skin for an extended period.
It's woodsy. It's almost like a complex white wine.
First produced thousands of years ago, orange wines grew obscure as other varieties flourished. But now restaurants nationwide are adding it to their menus.
I think there's a lot of people are curious about it.
Joe Campanelli, co-owner of Anfora, says it's a return to a style that was displaced by dry white wines in the 1960s, and it's creating a buzz.
I think a lot of people like the sense of discovery, and for me, these wines represent so much discovery about what's very old and what's new. I find that with these wines, either you love them or you hate them. There's very little middle ground.
It's good. I like it. It didn't have that orange flavor that I was expecting, a little too much acidity for me.
Although it is enjoying a resurgence, Campanelli says orange wine is unlikely to go mainstream. But that won't stop some enthusiasts from wanting more. Will you order it again?
Definitely, with a big bowl of meaty pasta.
Karina Mitchell for CBS News, New York.
Experts say if you like sherry, you will probably enjoy orange wine. They also add it's generally pricier than other wines and pairs well with meat and fish, and the recommendation is to serve it at a cellar temperature. There are a lot of ways to celebrate tonight. How about ringing in 2016 on roller skates?
I would fall on my face. I could see it coming. Our Deanne Stevens, though, she can skate. She's out and about at Champs in Lexington with a fun New Year's Eve idea for the kids. Hey, Deanne.
It is a big old celebration to ring in 2016 here at Champs. We're just a few hours away from that big ball drop. Are y'all going to have a ball dropping, Nick Champa?
We have balloons dropping. All these balloons come down at midnight.
That might be a little safer than the ball dropping on everybody's head while they're roller skating. We're having trouble enough on the skate. It's been a few years.
That
Nick,
means you should do it more often.
Exactly. It is great exercise. I don't know I'm going to be able to walk tomorrow, though.
That's great.
You guys have put together a great New Year's Eve celebration for the entire family. Tell folks all about it.
It's going to be fantastic. Hats, Hoynes, Noisemakers. We're giving away over $2,500 in cash and prizes. Flat screen TV. I think it's an Xbox, Nintendo DS, and a JBL Bluetooth speaker. It's a lot of fun.
It is a big celebration, included with some food for the kids.
That's right. We got a free kids buffet from 6 p.m. until 9 p.m. Hot dogs, chicken tenders, mac and cheese, and fries, and Pepsi.
Now, what age do they have to be? Some parents will drop the kids off.
We don't officially set an age like that. We like parents, they know their kids best. They know what's appropriate and what's not appropriate.
They feel like they're not going to break their neck, right?
We don't want anybody to break anything.
No, exactly. But what we're encouraging folks to do is make a family night of it. Ring in the new year with the entire family. Bring all the kids. Bring the grandparents out, too. I can see my mom and dad attempting this. He's laughing. He's like, you can't even attempt it, Deanne, much less.
Well, they can sit and watch and cheerlead. There's nothing wrong with that.
That's right. So how much are tickets, and when should folks, can they call now and get them?
They can absolutely call now, 268-3888. $30, $250 to rent skates, or you can do unlimited laser tag and unlimited miniature golf for $30. And if you want to do all three attractions, $45.
All right, $45 to come on out. Thank you for helping me not fall.
I wasn't going to let you fall.
And spend the evening ringing in 2016. How about a big Happy New Year? I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about at Champs. Happy New Year, guys. Come on, let's skate. Come on.
Do you get the idea? It's a party wherever she goes.
Absolutely,
Skating rink,
it is.
doesn't
No matter. Yeah.
Having a good time. Yeah. The nation's top singers preparing to rock New Year's Eve, and Bill Cosby facing 3 sexual assault charges.
Chris Martinez has your eye on entertainment.
Comedian Bill Cosby is free on $1 million bail after being charged with aggravated indecent assault. The 78-year-old is accused of sexually assaulting a former Temple University employee in his Pennsylvania home in 2004.
Mr. Cosby urged her to take pills that he provided to her and to drink wine, the effect of which rendered her unable to move or respond.
Cosby's lawyer says she plans to mount a vigorous defense against what she calls an unjustified charge. More than 50 women have accused Cosby of sexual abuse, but this is the first time he's been charged.
We might need this.
Blockbusters like Star Wars, The Force Awakens, and Jurassic World helped make 2015 a record-breaking year for Hollywood. Ticket sales in North America are expected to top $11 billion by the end of today. Gary Underwood and Gwen Stefani are set to perform live in New York's Times Square to ring in 2016. Rapper Puff Daddy will hit the stage in Miami, and the rock band Kings of Leon will headline the New Year's Eve celebration in Nashville. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
It's New Year's Eve. Do you have a New Year's resolution?
You know, I'm glad you warned me beforehand that we're going to do this. Just enjoy the special moments of life. You know, life is short, really, and I just want to enjoy being present instead of looking ahead and looking back.
Good.
How's
Very
that? What
good.
about you?
I'm going to go with that with you because I think that's good. These are kind of silly. I want to do journaling more, maybe like a prayer journal. And this is so sad, but I want to wear my heart rate monitor more when I work out because I'm just going to try it this year. So.
And you work out a lot,
Yeah.
so that would get a lot of views.
Yours are much more meaningful than mine, but anyway. Chris Bailey, what about you?
You know what? My New Year's resolution this year is to not make New Year's resolutions anymore. Huh? How about that one, right? No, as we go into the new year, guys, resolutions or not, it's colder out there, finally taking shape. Down to an even freezing now, Frankfort, 33 Lexington, 37 Corbin, Jackson at 35. Cloudy skies out there across the board with a passing snow flurry or two showing up into much of central and eastern Kentucky. You're going to get that when you have a lot of low-level moisture, a lot of clouds that are out there too, and with temperatures that are right at the freezing mark, whatever's going to be falling from those clouds will be in the form of a couple of snowflakes across most of central and eastern Kentucky. Nothing to cause any problems out there at all. I guess if I have to come up with a resolution, guys, it would be to help all the producers and directors out and try to stay on time and to follow cues a little better. Maybe?
That'll never happen.
Yeah.
No.
Good luck with that.
You've probably already broken it for the new year.
They're loving you now, boy.
Well, from the famous to the infamous, the hilarious to the heart-wrenching, and the adorable to the infuriating. Seriously, I'm still trying to figure out what color that dress was. This year was chock full of viral moments.
Jeremy Roth takes his DeLorean on a trip back to revisit 2015's most viral stories. Take a look at this.
Seven-year-old Dylan Barnes shook it off this year, dancing his way onto Ellen and into the presence of Taylor herself. Barnes got to meet the superstar backstage at her tour stop in Kansas City, and they had this epic dance-off.
October 21st, 2015. You mean we're in the future?
The future arrived in 2015, at least in Back to the Future Part 2 terms. On October 21st, the world paused to geek out over the day the 1989 movie named The Future, a world of flying cars, hoverboards, and holograms. The whole thing culminated with the actors showing up on late night in, what else? The DeLorean. There was perhaps no viral video in 2015 as horrifying as this. A vehicle dash camera captured a Trans-Asia flight as it careened out of the sky, clipped a vehicle on a bridge, and plunged into a river. Officials say pilot error was to blame. 43 people were killed. Pharmaceutical CEO Martin Shkreli made headlines when he raised the price of a life-saving AIDS medication. I'm not talking a couple of bucks. Daraprim skyrocketed from $13.50 to $750 per pill overnight. The Daily Beast declared Shkreli the most hated man in America, surpassing even the dentist who killed Cecil the Lion. Speaking of, Zimbabwe's prized Cecil the Lion was illegally hunted in July, sparking an international firestorm against Walter Palmer. And while Palmer didn't face charges, he did face abject humiliation. The controversy inspired ridiculous Halloween costumes. A Patti LaBelle fan's ode to the singer's frozen dessert pies sent sales through the roof when his musical review went viral and captured the attention of the singer herself. LaBelle made sure the fan got his just desserts, hosting him for Thanksgiving dinner. And from one diva to another, Johanna Cologne channeled the essence of Aretha during a summer dance recital. The sassy 6-year-old tapped her way to total stage dominance. And the story that had everyone talking this year, the dress. Is it blue and black or white and gold? A question that sparked countless BuzzFeed articles and threatened to tear families apart. And for the record, it is totally blue and black. I'm Jeremy Roth, reporting.
I love this time of year taking a look back because we sit out here, we do so much news, and you forget so much through the year. So it's nice to take that step back.
I had not seen the 6-year-old dancing. Precious. That makes you smile.
We'll be watching all those again and again tonight. All right. Thanks so much for being here with us. Stick with us right now because here's what we're working on for you at 5 o'clock.